Hey, my name's James Nicholson. I hope you guys are well. Our leasehold's about to be abolished within 100 days of this certain date. Well, I want to talk about leasehold, what's going on with leasehold reform. I've made quite a few videos on this and they've been really popular on this channel because people are just frustrated with leasehold properties. They're frustrated with marriage value and much more. So make sure you watch this video to the end, find out what the hell is going on. But while you're here, if you haven't done already, stop me talking about this. Smash subscribe and hit the bell. Look, let's be honest. Even if we get 1 million subscribers, I'm still going to ask you to subscribe because I've got good content every single day for you. So subscribe and hit the bell and smash that like button. Tickle the like button. Do something to the like button over there. We're going to hit 1 million views soon. This could be the video that does it. So please help me get there. So what is going on? Well, in most countries, you don't have leasehold properties. It's a very British thing. And Michael Gove and the government have talked a good game about, at one stage, abolishing leaseholds. And then they kind of backtracked on that. Now there's talk that we've got the King's Speech. I think it's this month or early November. And in that, they're going to talk about what's happening for the rest of the year. Now, one of the things that Michael Gove was saying, he was going to abolish something called marriage value. Marriage value. What the hell is that and why does that impact you? Well, if you have a property on a lease, you normally get a 100-year lease. If you're lucky, you get 1,000-year. And that means that you own that property for a period of time. And that is the 100 years or the 1,000 years. And after that, it goes back to the freeholder, but you get first dibs at extending that lease. So when it is above 80 years, so when the lease is above 80 years, you can extend the lease and it's relatively cheap to do. It will cost you 5-6 grand, not cheap, but wait till I tell you how much it could cost. Now, a lot of people don't know about this, but once it drops below 80 years, now you get problems. Now, the problems that you get is a lot of lenders, they don't want to lend you money anymore. That's a big problem. And so because there's not lots of lenders out there that want to lend you money, you now need to look at extending the lease. It's very important to do that. And so now when it is below 80 years, something called marriage value kicks in. And let's just say that your property is worth 100 grand with a long lease, a 1,000-year lease, for example. But if it drops the lease, now the property is only worth 70. People don't want short leases. So if you extend the lease, the property is now going to be worth 100 grand again. So the value that it goes up by is 30 by having a longer lease. So how much is it going to cost? Well, it's actually quite easy to figure out. What happens is a valuer comes around and they say, with a short lease, it's worth 70. With a long lease, it's worth 100. So the 30 grand difference, you're going to split that between you and the freeholder. So that means to extend your lease in this scenario will cost you 15 grand. A hell of a lot of money, plus the fees. So 20. Now, that's a big problem. Now, imagine you own a flat in London. This happens all the time. Imagine you own a flat in Kensington. The marriage value in some of these properties could be £1 million. £1 million, and that's happened many times in the past. And so the government want to abolish this marriage value. They want to allow you to extend all leases up to 1,000 years, and they want to get rid of ground rent. Now, they've done that. So when you extend your lease now, your ground rent will be abolished. If you've got ground rent currently, that will stick. But when you renew the lease, it will be abolished. That could be £100 a year. Some people, it's a peppercorn a year. Some people, ground rent can be many thousands. Again, that's another reason why the government hate this ground rent, because some people take advantage of this. So this is called marriage value. The government's potentially getting rid of this at the end of this year, or at least going to tell us what the plan is for it. However, this is where things change. Labour just came out this week, and they've said if we get elected, which you might think, they're not going to get elected. In fact, they're doing better than the Conservatives in the polls at the moment. So if Labour get in, within 100 days, they will abolish leaseholds. Abolish them. Conservatives said that couldn't be done. I don't know how it could be done myself, but this is very good because I know there are thousands of, like, go and look at the marriage value videos that I've done. There are literally thousands of people that have watched these videos that are in this scenario that potentially, and there's tens of thousands of people in the UK that could benefit from this significantly. So what does this mean as an investor? Well, it means a leasehold property will now become similar to a freehold property. Brilliant. That means that the value of that property would likely increase as well. It means the mortgageability of that property would likely increase as well. It means you wouldn't have this marriage value, you wouldn't have ground rent, and that is all very good stuff for the leaseholder. Who it's not good for is the freeholder. The freeholder has an asset that's potentially worth hundreds of thousands of pounds, and what Labour is saying is it will get abolished. Now, I can't see how they can just take that asset from somebody and say it's now worthless. They can't expect the leaseholder to pay for it because we weren't in that position in the first place. So what happens in this scenario, I don't know. Are the government going to buy these or recompensate people? Because you can't just say to someone something's worth this much money today, that much money tomorrow. This is a big, big issue. There are companies that all they do is own freeholds, potentially millions of pounds of freeholds. And what the Labour government's saying is this will just be gone within 100 days. Seems unlikely, but this is going to be very, very good news for leaseholders if Labour get in. Now, on the comments on my video, a lot of people say, if a Labour government gets in, this is horrendous news for landlords. Now, they haven't indicated that EPCs would come back in. They haven't indicated that they'll put rent restrictions on properties. So if this comes in, for the majority of landlords, this could be good. For the landlords that own the freeholds, this could be very bad news. And it really is a concern that they could have an asset that suddenly could be not worth much money at all. But I think that you want to keep an eye on this. And if you have a leasehold property and you're considering extending your lease, you're considering doing some work on the property, you're considering buying a short lease property, this could be a very good opportunity. Now, what maybe you do is Labour get elected. Most people don't know about this kind of stuff straight away. You find all the properties on Rightmove that have got a short lease. You can do a search on that. If you do a desktop search, you can search for short lease. Then put some offers in on these properties before people get ahead of this. These could really shoot up in value quite quickly because the short lease, as you can see in this scenario, it knocks off a hell of a lot off the value. So this could be a very good win for a lot of people, apart from the freeholders. How do you think this is all going to play out? Because I can't see how they're going to just take those freeholds off the freeholders that own them. They're not going to just give them to me, a leaseholder. How do you guys feel this might work? Have you seen some articles that maybe I've not seen on it? I want to do some more research on this and really understand, because I think more information is going to come out over the next few weeks. But it's definitely one to keep an eye on. Comment below with your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe and hit the bell. Let's get 1 million views this month. So go and watch this video right here and give me one more view.